Hello. Before we proceed, I would like to call our honorable chief guest, Professor Jagdish K. Patnaik, to occupy his honorable seat. I would like to request our guest of honor, Professor Joydeep Chattopadhyay, and Senior Professor R.C. Tiwari to come over the dais, please. I would like to invite the coordinator of this program, Professor Jamal Hussain, over the stage, please.
Yes.
Professor Jamal Hussain to felicitate our guest of honor. Sir Dr. J.P. Singh to felicitate our senior officer. Good morning, chief guest honor, and all the members of mathematics and computer science, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the International Faculty Development Program on Mathematical Modeling of Biosystems with special focus on epidemiology. My name is Byakim, and of course, it is my pleasure to be your host on this beautiful morning. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next few days, this program will provide you plenty of opportunity to discuss mathematical modeling and share knowledge and insight. So glad here we are joined by participants virtually though from various parts of the globe, and on behalf of Mizoram University, I wish each of you a pleasant and fruitful session of your time. And now to formally start our event, and to deliver is open request.
my colleagues at the department. Of biosystems with special emphasis on epidemiology. Dear friends, mathematics, as all of us realize and know, it has wide application, and most of the physical phenomena are governed by mathematical equations. Whether mathematics is discovered or invented, it divided the scientists, mathematicians, some who believe it was discovered, it is already there. Man have applied their mind and discovered it. Others believe that it is invented. So scientists were divided, like such notables as G.H. Hardy, Gardner, and many others. They believe that it was discovered. Others, like the formalists, who thought it is invented by human being, are like Cantor, then Bourbaki and others. So this question of, because people could not avoid mathematics also, though many have phobia, because of wide application. Some people like Maria Livio, who is a physicist, astrophysicist, and is a writer, popular writer, who came up with a book with a very interesting title called "Is God a Mathematician?" Because of the fact that, most of the physical world is governed by mathematics. So finally, in his book, he said that this question, whether it is invented or discovered, is misleading, in the sense that it is not one of these two. Rather, it is both. From his research, he found, and he said most of the definitions and concepts that we study are by human beings, are invented. But logical consequences of all this invention are actually discovered. So, friends, in this program, we'll see how some of the mathematical tools can be used in life sciences, in biology, particularly in epidemiology and ecology as well. I hope it will be very beneficial, and I'm really happy to announce that though we did not put much of effort to popularize outside the country, but close to 10-11 countries from there people registered, and they will be joining, I hope, online. And because of this was planned long back when we thought it will be online. So I welcome all of you on behalf of the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science and Mizoram University, and I hope it will be really beneficial, and to participate actively, particularly today when our speaker, Professor Jodek Chattopadhyay, is a renowned scientist, and he has a lot of credit, he has a lot of publication and in research. So it is a good opportunity for all of us to best use this moment to interact with him, and whatever doubts and questions we have, we can discuss with him. It will help in our understanding as well as in future research as well. And wish you all the best. Thank you all.
Thank you for the welcome address, sir. The next dignitary to honor us with his presence is Dr. Jay Prakash Singh, sir, the HOD of Mathematics and Computer Science, Mizoram University. Sir, please.
Good morning, all of you, Honorable Chief Guest, Professor J.K. Patnaik, sir, Guest of Honor, Honorable Professor Jaydev Chattopadhyay. He is from ISI Kolkata, Agriculture and Ecological Research Unit. Senior Professor, Honorable Dean, Professor R.C. Tiwari, sir. The coordinator of this program, Professor Jamal Hussain, sir, former head of department of our department. My colleagues, students, research scholars, I feel privileged to stand before you and welcome you on behalf of Department of Mathematics and Computer Science Department. So now I feel very happy that our department time to time organizing such type of conference. Not very long back, actually, we organized one training program on mathematical modeling and computer and modeling. Then before that also we organized such type of program in online mode. Recently, we had MOU with University of Guadalajara, Mexico. We have the previous two program, it was with in their collaboration. So now in that manner, our department get popularized not only in India but across the globe. So in this particular 500 applicant are there. I think there will be lots of scope for getting interaction, and again our department will be get popularized. So coming to this particular event, actually, so it is basically based on this epidemiology. So we have seen this this pandemic COVID-19. So it has changed our life and working style, everything enormously. So we are forced to change our style of working, living style. So in one side we have seen it's have lots of bad effect, but it has given us so many things like how to behave in a gathering using proper mask, and most boon I can say. So we are now technology friendly. So previously, if you just see before this pandemic, we don't know how to use these tools, how to take the online class. So we used to just listen that from foreign countries these online things are going on now. Everyone realize, even small kids of school level also, even all the teachers, even business. Now you can see how everyone is so much benefited. So yeah, definitely this pandemic has given something to us. So hopefully, I have seen actually this the list of speakers. So lots very known to me also. I
Ecological Research Unit, ISI, Kolkata. And he has been awarded Fellow 2008 Indian Academy of Science in Bangalore. And he also has been the President, Biomathematical Society of India in 2010. So now we kindly request respected Professor Joydev Chattopadhyay, sir, to continue our event by sharing some words with us. Sir, please.
Good morning, Professor Patnaik ji, Professor Tiwari ji, Professor Jamal Hussain, head of the department, colleagues from mathematics and computer science, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. It's really very honored to share the dais with you, sir. And I'm feeling very honored. And this is not the first time in this university. I think it's my fourth visit of this university. And I have a good contact with Jamal for a long time. So what is the background of this, specifically this workshop, this faculty? Jamal called me 4 or 5 months before, and he told me that we want to organize a faculty development program or one sort of workshop. Then I think that we had made a plan, and it is as you know, it is a 7 days workshop. So many speakers, and most of the speakers are well known. Actually, as for example, Professor Mia Marcheva from University of Florida, Professor Ibrahim from Sultan Qaboos University, Professor Eke Misro from BHU, and so on. All speakers are well known from their own credibility, and I hope you will enjoy their lectures. And actually, this workshop is basically on a little bit on. First of all, we thought it will be on. We will focus mainly on epidemiology. Then we little bit decided not only the epidemiology, we shall also focus on some ecological issues also. And in the last day, Amio will give you some sort of, mainly he will give some examples. He will use the package, R package he will use, and hands-on. And he's a very good, actually, he did PhD with ours, and it's very good one. So I hope the students who are doing research on ecology, epidemiology, his hands-on talks will be very much helpful. So before coming to the conclusion of this talk, so what is the background of focusing on ecology and epidemiology? So most of the people should know that, ecological modeling basically started with the hand of Lofton Volterra. But I actually, I believe, I will show in my first talk, that I believe that ecological modeling has begun with the hands of Fibonacci in the 12th centuries with a very simple arithmetical problem. So in my opinion, that ecological modeling has been started with the hand of Fibonacci. And then and then the epidemiology, it has begun with the hand of Karmakan mechanism. Most of the people believe in the year of 1927. Again, I say that no, it has begun with the Bernoulli's equation in the year of 1760. Bernoulli's equation, as you know, it has been used for the malaria problem. So gradually, as you see, that it's a long history. So in my, I will try to give you an overview in my talk, which is start after this, that how the modeling actually has been started and where we are now. As head is going to mention about that, yes, the pandemic has changed a lot because if we can make this workshop not in hybrid mode, if all the speakers are here, then it has really it will help both a lot to my students. So again, I'm telling you one thing, and I'll stop now. So the pandemic issues. So if you think about the Malthus equation, so Malthus equation is nothing but dx dt is equal to Rx, it's exponential growth. So my point is that whether the pandemic one, so Malthus equation, it has a long, again, the debate will come that whether Malthus was in his right track or not, or whether the Malthus equation is still valid for the third world countries. So we can make a debate on that. So there is two checks are there. One is positive checks and another one is negative check. So I do not know that this COVID-19 is an alarming call for the negative check or not. That the mathematician we will have to do that from mathematical point of view. I will touch this point in my lecture a little bit. Thank you very much for hearing my voice.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words. And I am very delighted to invite our guest of honor, Senior Professor R.C. Tiwari, sir, Department of Physics, who currently is also the Dean of School of Physical Science. And he has been awarded Best Research Award in 2019 by VD Good Society, Chennai, India, and the Eminent Teacher Award 2019 by RSH Society, Gandhinagar, was none other than our guest of honor, Senior Professor R.C. Tiwari, sir. I request him to kindly come and share some words with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Honorable Chief Guest, our beloved Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Jagdish K. Patnaik, sir, the Pro VC of Mizoram University. Our guest of honor, Professor Joydev Chattopadhyay, sir, from Agriculture and Ecological Research Unit, Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. My beloved colleague, Professor Jamal Hussain, sir, who is the coordinator for this program. My colleagues, Dr. J.P. Singh, the HOD of Mathematics and Computer Science Department. Another my colleague, Mr. Laltan Puya. All our students, because it is very rare, I should say, to see that all of you, all the students have turned up on time and they are here. So that is making this hall also filled up. Otherwise, when we do live streaming of this and we don't have sufficient number of people, that also doesn't look nice. So it is, I really thank you very much for turning up in a good number. And before I talk about something in the about the program, I would like to, on behalf of the School of Physical Sciences, as Dean in charge, I welcome all of you, and special welcome to our chief guest, Professor J.K. Patnaik, sir, who turned up actually before time, I should say, before our program started. So thank you so much, sir, for in spite of your busy schedule, you are always supporting us in any endeavor that we try. And I should say special thanks, and I should also say that it is marking 20 years of our association with ISI, if I am correct, I don't know, because 2002, when I did not join Mizoram University, even then there was a program organized by PUC and ISI, Kolkata, and that program was organized in this tourist lodge, and I was lucky to attend that. So since then, many programs have come up from ISI side, and 2007 and others, mathematics 2 times, I think, and physics 2 times or 3 times. So it's a very great experience working or sharing knowledge with the Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. And especially when we talk today's topic, the so contemporary topic that has been chosen by Professor Jamal Hussain, because so many things are happening, but recent in this COVID-19, has, as one of our speakers was telling, that it has changed our lifestyle and other things, but it has given us a lot of challenges for research and a lot of things to be done in future, because this is not the last pandemic. Many more may come. So the mathematics, how it can be really useful for knowing about the different symptoms, different diagnosis, and this particular area where we target a large population. It is not a clinical trial individual level. So in other words, we also call it big data analytics. Of course, I don't know much, or I will know, but these days we talk about that big data analytics, and a lot of data people are hunting in the internet, and they either purchase it or some other way also, and a lot of research is going on. So this particular topic which Professor Jamal Hussain has chosen, and it is very nice to see that almost 600 participants, up-to-date information, they are joining this program. And I really appreciate those participants where it is midnight maybe. And so it is this particular program is connecting 4 continents, I should say, because I could see that one of the persons from UK also. So it is connecting 4 continents, is actually Asia, Africa, America, and Europe. So it is really great to see that our university located as not at a very hot spot, but still we are able to organize program, and we are able to motivate those people to join this program in spite of inconveniences also. Okay. And at the same time, we are very just to the participants who are joining this, I would like to share on behalf of physical science that we have 4 departments in our school, and all of you are very much welcome to visit our website and check our faculty strength in terms of their publication, in terms of others. And if you find them that they are worthy to collaborate, we are very open. And in this regard, I would like to have grateful thanks to our university, our vice chancellor, our administration, who are always supporting us and who are always encouraging us to join hands with other universities to do more collaborations. And this is in the light and in the spirit of the Government of India's New Education Policy 2020, where we talk about multidisciplinary approach. So this particular topic which has been chosen, where most of the participants, I believe, are the maybe faculty, but in spite of all that, a lot of students are here who can get a flavor of research, at least, that what is research and what are the future areas, what are the challenging areas. Because just doing research, repetition research has no meaning. It was never have meaning, but in the today's world, not at all. You cannot stand by doing a research which somebody has done and you are repeating and you are saying, I'm doing research. No, you have to take up the issues which are challenging, which are in front of the whole world or the society. So this particular topic and the speakers are going to give you a very nice exposure. You, as a student, you may not be able to understand 100% what has been said this time, but you may get some interest in certain areas where you can be an asset to our school and to our department. And I think in that way, you can do much wonders than what you will see this side. I can say this because you have, if you go back to 40 years, then to start PhD, we have to go to some place where hard copies of the books are available, abstract books. That was the only way to do. Now, everything is in your mobile only. So for you, access that you have is unlimited. There's no limit. So here you can do much better work, and always my only message will be that whenever you plan for any research, always take a issue area where your work has applications. Because if you have this habit, then whenever you are planning PhD or when you become a faculty, then any presentation you make regarding the research, every agency, especially in India, they are ready to pay you any amount of money. You check the website, you will not find the amount limit, but your work should be worthy of applied somewhere in the ground. If it can be applied, if it can change the life of the people, if it can change the the way of working in a scientific area, whatever it may be. So all that, if you want to learn, this is a golden opportunity, because you will be able to hear people from across the globe. Maybe number may be less, but as I said, we are connecting the 4 continents in this program. So I hope you are going to get a lot of benefit from this particular conference, and you will carry forward in your future endeavors. So once again, I thank our chief guest, sir, all the delegates who are joining online, and all the students here, and with the special thanks to our ICT, who is making it possible to live stream this program, and our PR cell, who are covering this event and popularizing it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your words, sir. I am profoundly delighted to take the opportunity to introduce the chief guest for the day. He is none other than the Pro Vice Chancellor of Mizoram University, Professor Jagdish K. Patnaik, and he has been the Chairman Board of School in Political Science in 2004 till that, Chairman Board of UG Studies in Political Science. Oh my God, the list won't stop. It's too long, sir. So heavy applause for the chief guest is much needed. Now we request the honorable chief guest to address the gathering and cast the light of his knowledge upon us. Sir, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. Professor Jaydeep Chattopadhyay, Professor R.C. Tiwari, Professor Jamal Hussain, Dr. J.P. Singh, Mr. Latan Poya, my dear colleagues, the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science, dear research scholars, and student friends. I'm the only odd man out in this gathering. But the simple reason is that I come from a non-science stream. I studied science up to 13th class, and I gave up science for fear of mathematics. In integral calculus paper, I did miserable. So it affected my career in intermediate science, 13th class. So immediately I switched to arts. Of course, in arts I did well. So I am a cipher in mathematics. Nevertheless, this morning when Professor Jamal was speaking, I was a little bit provoked to indulge myself in certain kind of debate. Of course, you will get into the nitty-gritties and details of mathematical modeling. I, for one, believes, as one sentence Professor Jamal has said, and previously also we had very good discussion in my house, that the natural phenomenon is occurring rather in terms of mathematical models. Everything that is there has got some mathematical dimensions to it, and it evolves. Natural phenomenon evolves through a process of mathematical model. That's a wonderful kind of thing. Of course, in 13th class, I gave up mathematics, I gave up science, but now, after having got exposure to methodology, research methodology, I, for one, believe that for science, social science, natural science, whatever, for knowledge, there is one model, that is mathematical model. In the course of my MA research methodology class, although I was a very bad student in mathematics, I was performing very good in statistics, and I scored highest mark. That's not regarding the personal kind of thing. what I mean to say here is knowledge is unity, and you need to discover and decipher the dynamics of the various equations that the variables are in operation to give rise to a phenomenon. Because a phenomenon has got certain variables and they are in relationship with each other. And being a student of mathematics or being a researcher, it is our jobs to discover the equation of the relationship between and among the variables. This is just simple kind of thing I'm talking about. And in research, we do that. Being a researcher, as a social science researcher, I have discovered the relationship in terms of not mathematics, but in terms of certain variable operations with respect to institutions. Before I forget, I will get into the debate Professor Jamal started with, but then let me talk about this. Social institutions are constructed. They are constructed. A school, a college, university, they are the constructs of the minds of the people in terms of institutions. Natural phenomena are also constructed through a process of nature, natural process. Everything is constructed. And we being researchers, we try to deconstruct it, to understand the deeper dynamics with respect to that construction. Now, I will just get it a little bit, one or two sentences into what Professor Jamal spoke about or Professor Chattopadhyay talked about. Both of them have got a deeper understanding about how mathematical modeling evolved into an important tool for understanding the biosciences, biosystem, biological system. To my understanding, although he talked about 1927 precisely when this modeling into biosystem has come in. Fair enough, sir. I respect your opinion, but let me stray back a little bit. This is basically a contribution of Indian civilization. What about Banabhatta, Barahamira, Lilavati Sutra? All these people, traditional ancient thinkers who did contribute to the modeling of the cosmic system. You see, biological system is only one system, one aspect of the larger system. But the cosmic system was interpreted by the ancient thinkers and seers of Indian civilization. I don't say India. India is a very narrow term. I'm talking about the Indian civilization, starting from Kabul, Kandahar, or even farther than that, Central Asia, down to Southeast Asia, where Bharatavarsha has its impact. Indian civilization had its, even today, its footprints all across this continent. And wherein, how it could be possible because of the richness of the contribution of the ancient thinkers in terms of sciences and specifically mathematical science. Those things were, of course, deliberately erased by the invaders, by the colonizers, by the Western domination, Western knowledge system. It's fair enough. We Indians should give credit to, we have the large-heartedness to give credit to the contribution of the Western knowledge system. But remember the fact that we have had a rich knowledge system, Indian knowledge system, which did contribute substantially to the development of mathematical science. I may be, subject to discussion, subject to contestations and interrogations. But please do your research and you'll get to know about the deeper contribution, the larger contribution that we have had. That apart, now coming to Professor R.C. Tiwari, because I'm a cipher. I don't know nothing about this. So let me speak, because I've been given highest time than others. Others were given 5 minutes and J.K. Patnaik is given 10 minutes. I don't know why. Anyways, so let me take Kadgels. Kadgels, I take up Kadgels with Professor Tiwari. Over the years, actually, because of our, this colonialism and post-colonialism and the subdued nature of the Indian system after independence, we were subdued, and that subduedness was, that persisted, and our knowledge acquisition, impartation was also very subdued. The education policy that was introduced during Macaulay time persisted. Then Radhakrishnan committee, then came 1986, there is another committee. Now recently in 2020 July, we had another set of framework whereby we would like to educate our children, our future generation, into a knowledge system wherein we'll get back our past glory. That is the intention and objective of this new education policy, national education policy. And wherein there is an emphasis on this mathematics. I'm sure many of you in this room also are not in a position to calculate in orally the summations or multiplications. You are students of mathematics, I'm sure. But if I give you, I'm talking about here in Northeast, how weak is mathematics knowledge? Because of the method of impartition of knowledge, mathematics knowledge was weak. Now this national education policy emphasizes on a new methodology for impartition of mathematical knowledge, numestics, starting from kindergarten. Two things: numismatics and language. These two things. Language is a means of communication, and mathematics is the vehicle of communication. Because through mathematics, you can express so many things very nicely, scientifically, and easily. And this mathematical modeling, when we want to study, particularly in the context of the epidemics, in the context of this COVID, I was watching the television news. Everybody must be watching television news during COVID-19. There is a professor in Columbia University, Professor Jha, mathematics professor, and he would be coming with his mathematical modeling and predicting when it's going to peak in India, when it's going to peak in UK. So through modeling, they are able to do these things. And I would definitely be happy that if our students, all the participants cutting across the various continents also, who are taking part in this 1 week long program, would be enabling themselves to understand and equip themselves with the mathematical models to understand the biological system and epidemics. Because those tools are highly essential for us, for a younger generation, so that you can not only understand the epidemiology or the pandemic or any other thing, but also you will be in a position to develop much more sophisticated tools. At a young age, if you are exposed to that kind of modeling, then you should be in a position to develop more and bring more tools and models and bring glory to not only Mizoram University, but to the Indian Bharatavarsha. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for your words, sir. Now, getting closer to the end of our inaugural program, last but not least, I would like to call upon Dr. S. Saraj Singh, Associate Professor of Mathematics and Computer Science, for a vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Good morning, everyone. So now the inaugural program of the International Faculty Development Program on Biosciences. So it's come to an close. So, first of all, I would like to thank our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Jagadish K. Patnaik, sir, for coming to guest as a chief guest of the program, inaugural program. And thank you, sir, for coming to this program and giving your valuable times for the program. Next, I would like to thank our guest of honor, Senior Professor R.C. Tiwari, Dean School of Physical Science, Mizoram University, for giving some certain times for the inaugural functions. Thank you, sir, for coming to the program. And Professor Joy Deva Sattopadhyay, so ISI Kolkata. Thank you, sir, as, for participating the inaugural program as a guest of honor. We are very thankful to you, sir, for giving. I think we will listen the development in mathematics, like with the programming and especially on the epidemiology and ecology. We will definitely get some benefit from the sir's lectures. And I would like to thank our coordinator, Sir Jamal, Professor Jamal, for organizing such a wonderful international the faculty development programs. So thank you, sir. And I want to thank our head of the department, Dr. Jaiprakash Singh, for gracing these inaugural functions. And I would like to thank all the staff and all the students and participants from across the globe for participating in this wonderful program. I am sure this program will highlight important points and will be benefited to all of you. I would like to thank the government of Mizoram for sponsoring this program financially. And last but not the least, I want to thank our authority, say BC sir, for giving the support technically and any kind of support which we needed to host this program. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With that gratitude being expressed, we now come to the end of our inaugural program. Thank you for your participation here, ladies and gentlemen. And I do hope you have a productive and fulfilling week ahead. All the best to you all. Thank you.
Tea is being served outside this room. Please join us, join for tea. And after that, immediately we'll start lecture by Professor Jayadov. Please don't leave. All of you, please attend. It's a golden opportunity to interact with him. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ủa sao rồi thế? Hello, okay.
Khăn chỉnh lông nghe. Only person students will go up.
You have to share for online. Share the slides. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First or second? Okay. Mizoram folder? No, it is not there. Yeah, this is the one. And, I think, I don't know, this is not my laptop, I don't know. I think we have to, we can convert it to PDF and then, yes, sir. PowerPoint, I think they don't have what? This is the PowerPoint? No. They don't have Office here. No, browser will not open. Soon. Sir, shall I copy it in the desktop? But then we will have to install the Office. I don't know. I'll just install it from my pen drive. PowerPoint ka no. Install ako man. Đi PowerPoint naman ka lo. Ay, kakasu. Gawin. Web mechanic ya. Oh. Hello.
Online, how many are there?
Hey.
Online, how many are there?
Why it is not coming?
You can send a message in WhatsApp group also.
Yes, sir.
We are going to start.
Okay, sir. 8496.
Sangbala.
Ini akan kontak ang open.
Sangbala ya tu datang. Sangbala.
Ini kamu. Hey, you know. Kunlok na yan. Fish. Liệu thấu. Cái đó lúc này ở đây là Fish 21. Original image, yeah. I installed how to my camera. Pirated. Installation. Activation to no mas digitally activate or more. Update các thể. Sir, there was no PowerPoint here, so I just installed it. It will not take even it will take only 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
So it's already more than 50%. This is a new laptop. Call me alone.
Hantung cinta.
Kallo.
Kal.
Okay. Linh thôi rồi.
Sangola, shall we start? Ask everyone to sit here. All of you, please. Sangola, what happened to you? Yes. Hello, hello. 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 Is it disconnected? Hello. Hello. Sorry. It is coming here, no, from this side. Welcome back to the first session. Dear students and colleagues, it is my proud privilege to introduce Dr. Joydeep, and we have a long association here earlier also. I am very thankful that he accepted our invitation and took the way to travel to Azure to interact with us. My question to you is that do not hesitate if you have any question to ask him. Okay? Professor Joydeep is currently a professor in agricultural and ecological research theory in ISI Kolkata. He has completed his education from Bardhaman University and Jadavpur University. He completed his PhD in the year 1993. Thereafter, he went for postdoctoral research at the University of Urbino, Italy in 1994. He is a fellow of Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore. He is editorial secretary of Calcutta Mathematical Society since 2009. He is an associate editor of the Journal of Advanced Research in Bioinformatics since 2009. He is also editor of Journal of Nonlinear Evolution, Equations and Applications since 2012. He has guided more than 32 scholars successfully. He has delivered more than 200 innovative lectures throughout the globe, visited many countries on academic assignments, including Canada, Italy, France, Switzerland, etc. He published more than 200 research papers in international journals of review. So I hope that it will be a very fruitful and beneficial for all of us to understand the application of mathematics through mathematical modeling. With these words, I welcome Professor Joydeep to deliver his lecture. Thank you.
Good morning. Thanks, Professor Jamal, for his very nice introduction. So basically, as I mentioned, that this workshop is basically based on application of mathematics on some ecological issues and some epidemiological issues. Keeping this in mind, my first talk will be basically on ecological models with some real-life examples. So in this talk, what I am trying to do, because suppose I'm looking for a sustainable systems. So looking for a sustainable systems, what are the backdrops, where we are, where our children are, what is the status of our internet facility, what is the status of number of children are going to school. So many things are there. So with that, I'll give you that sort of backdrops before starting to particular ecological issues. So then I will speak about the development of ecological modeling. As I mentioned in the class, that I'll start with the Fibonacci sequence and how this Fibonacci sequence generated through various natural phenomena. As for example, sunflower, if you look to the sunflower, there is a structure of Fibonacci. And then I gradually move to different ecological models. As for example, I will start with the Malthus equation. And then I will gradually develop logistic equation. And in everywhere I'm trying to do that, when I have suppose a logistic equation, is there any application? Can we see the logistic equation in the nature? I'll show you one example on that. Yes, there are some species which follows the logistic growth. Then I will move how the Lotka-Volterra model. This is the famous model, as you know, the Lotka-Volterra prey-predator model. What is the background of that Lotka-Volterra prey-predator model? It will come whether it comes suddenly with the equation or it has the previous history. I'll show you the history, then I'll write down the mathematical models of prey-predator model. Then I'll move to Lotka-Volterra competition model, and then I'll come to a specific example on the plankton paradox. So this is the first part of my talk of the development of ecological models. And then two parts will be there that will be a little bit different and little bit some sort of, as you can say, that part will be a little bit philosophical. So as I mentioned, as I'm going to mention the Malthus equation, and whether that Malthus equation is still valid for our country or not, I'll give you some economic data points, and from those economic data points, I will try to establish yes, Malthus equation is still valid for the third world countries. And in the last part, as I mentioned before, that two subject, one is ecological modeling, another one is epidemiological modeling. So most of the people believe that ecological modeling started with Lotka-Volterra in the 1922, and epidemiological models begins with the hands of Herman McKenzie in the year of 1927. So disease is also an ecological species, isn't it? Disease is not concentrated on the human population. So when the disease will come into the ecological species, or for example, prey-predator system, when the disease came into the prey species or the predator species, so how the system will evolve? That is, one is ecology, another is epidemiology. Then when the disease factor will come into the picture, we will call it an eco-epidemiology. So this eco-epidemiology, actually one work was done in the year of 1984, but that is basically a host parasite model. But in the year of 1999, if you go to the Google now, in the year of 1999, myself and my collaborator, Professor Obaid Arino, who has passed away in 2007, so we merged this ecological systems and some epidemiological factors we introduced in ecological system, and we coined this term eco-epidemiology. So in the last part of my talks today, first talk, I will show you one example that is basically on social terrorism, and where this in some sort of you can say that part will be a little bit on eco-epidemiological aspect. So let's begin with the brief. I'm looking for a sustainable system, as I mentioned. So what is the background of my sustainable system? So basically, as I mentioned, that I am looking for a sustainable system, sustainable development. So I try to attack this problem from three angles. One, I will try to attack this problem from environment. That is I will take an example from ecology. Then I will take one example from economics background, that is Malthus theory, whether Malthus theory is valid for our country or not. And third one is the social terrorism, that is basically to be based on some sort of eco-epidemiological aspect. So you are a little bit excited seeing these four figures, isn't it? So this is, I hope you know this one. This is Newton. Yes. This is Newton. And this is is a famous ecologist. I'll try to see in my last slide. I'll try to see that how I can relate the Newton's first law with the Malthus one. Is there any relationship or not? Second, you know this one. This is Swami Vivekananda, and this is who got the Nobel Prize in 2004 on string theory. So, and I also see in the when I conclude my lecture, I'll try to show you that how that's why I'm looking, because my students are here. We are always looking for a scientific eye and visionary field. So these two guys, I'll show you that how these visionary fellows like Vivekananda, who remarked something, I'm not telling now, and how it was happened with the Nobel Prize on string theory. What was his view and long in the 18th century. And so this is basically my backdrops of my talk. Okay, so I'm looking for a sustainable India. So what is my background? So I'm just going to read out this thing. Hundreds of millions go to bed hungry. More than 40% of the population are illiterate. Tens of millions of children are not in school. 40% of the Indian children are undernourished. 63.5 million living without access to clean water. 73 million living without access to toilets.
Hello.
So with this,
Hello.
This is my background.
Hello.
We are looking sustainable India.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. Please change. Please change the slide. Online to not changing the slides. Please.
Okay. Now, if you look to the growing inequality, so this is the figure I showing that in India, the richest 1% own of the countries were 53%. And this is basically the pyramid. And only 4 point, the poorer own only 4.1% of the national wealth. So this is the growing inequalities of our country.
Online to not changing the slides, sir. Please change the slides. Only first slide is shown.
Can you change the slide from there? That I think that will be better. Okay. Yes. Okay. So if you look to the internet facility, the developing country and only 50% people are developed, the population, but they are at the 88% in, and In the developing country, we have the population total world population. We are half developing country 85%. We have the internet facility only 12%. But yes, as you see from my figures, a long way to go, but we do have some hope. The last figure is telling you that we do have some hope. Okay, let's move next slide. So with this background, I now looking for a sustainable system. I'll now move to the development of ecological models. As I mentioned, that Leonardo da Vinci, who later on known as the Fibonacci, in the year of 12,002, he wrote a book. And his book was mainly content the first ever mention of the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence is Pn plus 1 is equal to Pn plus Pn minus 1. It's a Fibonacci sequence. So you'll get 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. This is the Fibonacci numbers. And when n goes to infinity, Pn plus 1 over Pn converges to a golden number. This is given by this. And these golden, next slide. And these golden numbers you can see everywhere in the literature. As for example, this golden ratio is, if you look to the pine cones, you will find the Fibonacci sequence. Similarly, if you look to the sunflower, you will also get the Fibonacci sequence. So next slide. So naturally the question is, how did the Fibonacci sequence was originated? It's basically originated from a very simple arithmetical problem. What is that arithmetical problem? A certain man, it's a simple arithmetic. A certain man had one pair of rabbits together in a certain enclosed pen. One wishes to know how many are created from the pair in 1 year, when it is the nature of them in a single month to bear another pair, and in the second month those born to bear. So this is a very simple arithmetical problem. If you solve this arithmetical problem, next slide. If you solve this arithmetical problem, you will get the first month you will get 1, the second month get 1, and then in the third month you will get 2, fourth month you will get 3, and fifth month 5, 8. So you get the Fibonacci. So from simple arithmetical problem, the Fibonacci generated this particular sequence. So why I am telling that this is the first problem in population dynamics? Because most of the people are telling the Loft model is the first one on ecological model. But as you see, this is the problem of the population dynamics, isn't it? So, in my opinion, the population dynamics model was begun with the hand of Fibonacci. Okay, next slide, please. Now, the Euler's equation. How the Euler's equation? So, Euler assumed that a population Pn in year n satisfied Pn plus 1 is equal to 1 plus x into Pn. And this is true for all integer n, and x is a growth rate, which is a positive real number. Okay, so if we start from initial condition P0, the population in the year n is given by Pn is equal to 1 plus x to the power 8 into P0. So let's have an example again. How the Euler's moved. There is one interesting example. So what is that interesting example is, since after the flood, all man descended from a people of 6. If we suppose that the population after 200 years is 1 million, we would like to find out the this Euler's idea was greatly developed by Malthus half a century later. And then the Malthus equation came into the picture. Next slide. Yes. So Malthus equation is dx dt is equal to Rx. When Malthus, so population will go exponential. When Malthus posed this problem, a lot of debate, then some people are in favor of Malthus equation. As for example, Charles Darwin was in favor of Malthus equation. On the other hand, Karl Marx was criticized Malthus, his language, as you can see that I'm just reading out some language, that I remind him that the work in its first form is nothing more than a school voice. Superficial pleasure of before Sir James Stewart, Franklin was, etc., and does not contain a single sentence throughout of by himself. So that was the remark. Write down this equation dx equal to Rx. So I'll take this equation again when I talk the part of the economics theory, that is whether Malthus equation is valid or not. That equation I'll take into account. Okay, next. So after the Malthus dx dt is equal to Rx, all population cannot grow exponentially. And that's why the logistic equation came into the picture. That is, the logistic equation is dx dt is equal to Rx into 1 minus x over k. K is the carrying capacity. So if we start my initial population from above, the carrying capacity, it will asymptotically reach to this. If we start below, my initial population below the carrying capacity, it will also reach the carrying capacity asymptotically. So this is basically the logistic coefficient. And when x is small compared to the carrying capacity, we come back again, the Malthus equation is equivalent to Rx. Next slide. So now, as I mentioned, that whether we can see the logistic growth in real life example. So if we can discretize the logistic model, dx dt is equal to Rx into 1 minus x over k. In discrete version is xn plus 1 is equal to xn plus Rxn into 1 minus x minus a. This is the discrete version of the logistic equation. Okay. So if you look to the gypsy small, it has 4 life scales. One is egg. Yeah, this is moth, this is egg, this is caterpillar, this is pupa, and so it has basically, the gypsy moth basically has 4 life scales. So if we can solve this logistic growth model, wherein R is the growth rate. So when R belongs to between 1 to 2.9, we have a steady state. So now we are reaching to the caterpillar. Second thing, just the outbreak, because you do not know that how many how many people will come from your caterpillar. That's a very critical state. That's why I'm telling that's the outbreak state. So that outbreak state belongs to between R 3 to 3.57. And if you cross a value of 3.57, you will have a chaotic situation. So the logistic growth model will use the chaos, and then also because when onset the chaotic growth is, so R becomes the growth rate becomes very large, and as a result, and you are not the population, the gypsy moth will not get because from the pupa. So many moths are not coming. So in the pupa stage, many they are declining, they are dying because they are not getting the sufficient number of food. That's why I'm telling you that when R goes to beyond the 3.57, you have an onset of chaotic population. And as you see that the gypsy moth life cycle clearly depict the picture which you are getting from a discretized logistic program. So this is one real life example of some particular situation. As for example, logistic flow. Now I'm coming to the basic Lotka-Volterra model. Again, there is a history. As I mentioned, the Lotka-Volterra model, all of a sudden, Lotka-Volterra did not write dft is equal to ax minus bxy, and dt is equal to cxy minus d. This is the Lotka-Volterra model. He did not write this model all of a sudden. There is a history. What is that history? So, if you remember the First World War, the First World War was begun in the 1914 to 1918, and at that time the fishing was banned in the upper Atlantic. And what the D'Ancona, he is a very ecologist. He visited three markets in Italy. One is Trieste, another is Rome, and another is Venice. So, how many fishes are coming from the Adriatic? The fishing was there. So, how many fish in the market? That's why we survey to get the data that how fishes are selling in these three markets. And he has some sort of data set. And he found, as you see from the data set, so from 1914, fishing was banned. From 1914 to 1918, 11.9, that is the population of fish is high. And as soon as the fishing was started, the population was increasing. As soon as the fishing was started, it was again declined. So he has one population is going up, as for example, Celestian fish. That is that big fish was going up, and more fishes are coming down. So this was his data set. One fishes is coming up, another fishes is coming down. As soon as the banning was done, this fishes is going up, another. So this sort of things he had a data set. So he could not explain what is going on with this data set. Then he came with this data set with the Vito-Volterra, who is the future father-in-law of D'Ancona. And after seeing this data set, after analyzing the data set, Vito-Volterra came into the picture. The famous, if there is no, the next slide, the famous Lotka-Volterra prey model. That is, so X is suppose X is the prey population. So when there is no interaction between X and Y, when there is no predator, as you see, dx dt is equal to ax. This is exponential mathematics. When there is an interaction of the predator, what is the role of predator? Predator will capture the prey population, isn't it? So when they are capturing the prey population, the growth rate of prey population will decline. That's why he has taken a negative term with a red P. So what we have captured, what we are, so everything is not having give you the growth. There are some portion are not converted to the growth. That is that, and this is coming dxy. So the rate parameter b is greater than. What is the restriction between the parameter? The rate parameter of b is greater than b. And similarly, this is the death rate, the natural death rate minus cy. This is the natural death rate of the predator population. So this is basically the famous Lotka-Volterra prey predator model. And as I mentioned, as you see that it has a history to arrive that sort of particular equation. So why I'm always trying to say something, because as you see that when I'm speaking about the logistic growth, I provide you one example from the Gypsy's mouth. Again, when I'm writing the famous Lotka-Volterra prey predator model, I'm giving the history of. So my students, when you work on some sort of problems that is not only the biological problems, please try to see, not look at the equation in the form of x and y. Try to see that, try to relate your x and y to some real life example, and that will give you a good intention, a good motivation to pursue your research in that particular direction. Okay, so next slide. Okay, now I am talking about the competition. Now I have two species. Suppose I have one, I have a species. Okay, I do have some resources. So the species N1 and species N2, they will compete for the resources. So the competition will be two types. One is, we call it intra, between the species. Another is inter, that is among the species. Okay. So when there is an intra-species competition, so as you see that the N1 is one species, N2 is one species. So they are sharing the resource K1. So this is basically R N1 K1 minus N1 over K1. This is, as you see, N1 square minus N1 square. That is, we call it, say, intra-species competition. The competition between the species of N1 itself. So N1 square, that is the intra-species. Similarly, for N2 is minus N2 square, the competition between the N2 species only. That's why this model is known as intra-species competition model. Now, we have an inter-species competition. Inter means N1 and N2. The competition, I have a resource, two species, N1 and N2, both are competing for the resource. Okay, so we have, this is my intra, and this is N1 function of N2. I wrote function of N2 because I have some intention. I'll show you one thing. So N1, N2, that is inter-species competition. Similarly, N2 is N2 square, that's the intra, and N2 N1. So this function F would take any form. So it can take N1, N2. It can take N1, N2 over A plus N2. It can take N1 square N2 over A plus N2 square. This function, we call it a functional form. So this is basically a simple whole model. If I write it, it's a competition model between the two species. N1 square is intra, N1, N2 is the interspecies competition. So as I mentioned that F function of N2 may take different form. What that is basically known as functional response. What is functional response? Next slide. The average number of prey consumed by each predator over a period of time. This functional response may be linear, as I mentioned, which is the form of Bn, maybe sigmoidal, which is form of Bn over H plus n, maybe this form Bn square plus H plus n square, maybe this form, this is called Monod-Helden function, maybe the ratio dependent. So there are many functional forms exist, at least 5 functional forms as I mentioned here. Many functional forms exist who have represent the interaction between the prey and predator. But so mainly I have searched many literature, only 3 journals which are the people who are working on mathematical biology. So these are the 3 best journals. One is Ecology, another is American Naturalist, and another one is Journal of Theoretical Biology. So I searched and I want to see that how many people are using, suppose Pauling described mainly 3 functional forms, type 1, type 2, and type 3. Most of the people are using either 1, either 2, or 3. So I found that 60% researchers are using type 2 functional response, that is this one, Bn over H plus. And type 1 functional response is 23, and ratio dependent functional response is 15% researchers are using this. Next slide. Okay. So associated Bn over H plus A, that is the prey dependent. Bn, okay, N is my prey. So Bn, the functional response is Bn over H plus N, that is the prey. So functional response may be prey dependent, may be ratio dependent. So Holling, when basically Holling in 1959, he did his experiment on snail population, and he arrived 3 functional response, type 1, type 2, and type 3. 2 things was there. When he described his equation, there was 2 things. One is search, another is control. That predator will search where is prey. When he found the prey, When search is complete, when he captured that, he consumed. Two terms was there. One is search and consume. I will show you one example where, apart from search and consume, there is another one term. You will, after seeing my experiment, you will say that yes, there is some term should be needed to describe this particular phenomena. Not only search, these two terms, searching time and consuming time, is not sufficient to represent that particular experiment which I am going to show you. You will tell me that no, search, not only search time, not only the consuming time, you will have to introduce one time, that is the selection time. So why I am telling this? So as you see the literature, so I have proposed a model, a simple play-predictor model. I have taken into account the type 2 functional response to represent the play-predictor dynamics. And you think, no, type 2 is not good. I will take ratio dependent functional response. You think, no, I will take type 3 functional response. Particular phenomena, and you will have to develop your functional response keeping seeing that particular phenomenon. That's I did an experiment. That's why I did an experiment. Let's see what the experiment is telling you. Next slide, please. Okay, so it's a 12 days experiment. In my lab, we did 12 days experiment. What I basically did, I have Artemia salina. Artemia salina is a zooplankton. Phytoplankton, zooplankton. Phytoplankton is prey, zooplankton is the predator, as you know. I did in class 10 level, I think everybody knows that phytoplankton, zooplankton, if you look to the food web, phytoplankton, zooplankton, fish, humans, so on. So phytoplankton on the basis of the aquatic system, then zooplankton, then fish, then human being, and so on. So Artemia salina is a zooplankton, that is, it is a predator, and it will prey on phytoplankton. So I have taken two phytoplankton. One is Chaetoceras, which is non-toxic. That particular guy, Chaetoceras, he did not release any toxic chemical. And Mycocystis, this is also the prey phytoplankton, and it can release toxin. Okay, so what I have in one beaker, I have a predator, Artemia salina. In another two beakers, I had non-toxic prey, Chaetoceras, and toxic prey, Mycocystis. So what I'm giving you food. One is good food, another one is bad food. What do you prefer? First, you prefer first take the good food, isn't it? Why are you take the bad food? Okay. So that guy also, what that guy is trying to do. So he is a size selective predator. Size means which size is fitted to his mouth side, he will select that. So I'm deliberately what I did. So I'm giving him toxic one, that is this one, which is 5 micromillimeter, which is good fitted to his mouth side. This is Chaetoceras, which is 10 micromillimeter, which is not fitted to his mouth side. But it is a good food. Okay? So 75% I am giving toxic one, which is fitted to my constant. 75% is C, and only 25% I have good food, non-toxic one. So what will think? What zooplankton will do? Which one will take? 75% is toxic, abundant, more abundant, which is fitted to his mouth side. So he will take this one, good or bad? He will take good one. Why? Good one is only 25%, bad one is 75%, and which is fitted to his mouth side. And good one only 25%, 10 micromillimeter, which is not fitted to his mouth side. What will he do? We'll take the good one or bad one? Good one. Let's see. Okay, next slide. In first 4 days, that clever guy, he has taken non-toxic one, which is not fitted to his mouth side and which is not abundant, only 25%. After 4 days, there is nothing. Good food is he has already taken. Then he took the bad one, and as soon as he took the bad one, both his population was declined. Within 12 days, there is no zooplankton was there. So what you see, pollen has two things: search and consume. Here, another one thing you are looking. What is that? What that particular intelligent guy, academia, what he is doing? He is selecting, isn't it? Which one is good? Which one is bad? He is selecting apart from search. So if he does not select, so he must take the 75%. He must take that one, bad one. But he has not do that. Not only search and consume, he has some sort of selection. So what you say that if you want to derive your functional response, because what this is the average number of prey consumed by the predator, that's the functional response. So apart from search and consume, as you see, my experiment is telling you, not only search and consume, you have to take into account the selection time. So I have taken into account the selection. Next slide. I have taken into account the selection time. Apart from search and I have the selection. So as Halim derived his functional response, I also derive my functional response is something like that, which is not type 1, which is not type 2, which is not type 3, type 4, and so on. So this particular phenomena dictate us to derive your own functional response. So my students, that's why I'm telling that when you are going to do some mathematical model, try to look the particular phenomena, what is going on. Then you write down your mathematical formula or mathematical equation, so that you will be very, your result will be very close to the natural. So that's why this is, I provide you this sort of example. Okay. So one philosophical thing is that does this particular guy, Artemia, has the memory? He has the previous experience, not in this generation. In the previous generation, he has some sort of things or not. Why he has not taken the abundant one? Why he has not taken that bad one? Why he has selected the good one? Thus, there is a memory. So that aspect, I do not know. But if you want to consider that sort of things, memory-related functions, so you will have your ordinary differential equation, your partial differential equation will not work. You will go for the fractional differential equation. In my second talk, when I speak about the dengue population, I will try to give you give you some hints about the fractional differential equation. So maybe this problem one can think about in near future, that to resolve this sort of issues, like the species have some sort of memory before. That's why he is not selecting the bad one. He's selecting the good one. Maybe the fractional differential equation may be a good reference term. I'm not sure, but you can try. Okay, next slide. Okay, now I am giving you a specific example of, I have already described to you the Lotka-Volterra model. I have already described to you Lotka-Volterra competition model. So how this simple Lotka-Volterra competition model will give you to resolve the paradox of Planck. So what is that? What is the paradox of Planck? What is that? So if we look to our terrestrial system, we have innumerable number of species. Many species coexist because we have innumerable number of resources. So we have innumerable number of resources. That's why in our terrestrial system, many species coexist. Okay. On the other hand, if you look our aquatic system, in aquatic system we have 13 minerals: sodium, potassium, calcium. These are the minerals. So if this mineral does not dissolve in the oxygen, does not dissolve in the water, the species, phytoplankton species, cannot take it. So we have 13 minerals and more than 44,000 species phytoplankton. The scientists have already discovered 44,000 species already discovered exist. So we have how many minerals? We have only 13 minerals. More than 40,000 species coexist. On the other hand, as I mentioned, in aquatic, in terrestrial system, innumerable number of resources, many species coexist. In aquatic system, 13 minerals, more than 40,000 species coexist. How this large number of species coexist with this seemingly limited variety of resources? That's the fact. Understand? Hutchinson, in the year of 1967, he pointed out this problem. How this large number of species goes with this limited variety of resources. So this is the problem. Many people around the globe, they are now trying to resolve this plankton paradox from different angles. As for example, the Netherlands group, they are trying to solve this problem, considering the competition for the resources. We have already heard about the competition. Some people are trying to look the problem from the external factor, maybe the weather, maybe the spatial heterogeneity. So many things are looking from the external. Some people are looking from external factors. Some people are looking from the angle of internal factor. We are thinking, we are doing some experiment for the last 16 or more than 16 years in the sea. We are going there. We are collecting the marine sample, coming back to the laboratory. We are seeing that how many species are there. So we have the data set for the last 50 years or something like that. And we are seeing not the external factors, not the internal factor, the species itself, as I mentioned, non-toxic, toxic. So phytoplankton species, they are releasing some toxic chemicals and they are trying to resolve this issue from that. And I'm trying to show you that. Next slide. So I'm not telling you that. So many people are that basically these results are from the Netherlands group. So they have N species K resource models and they have very many resources. They have tried to explain this problem from their point of view. And it has been debated a little bit. So when three species competition for 5 resources, they have a small amplitude. When 3 species competition for, when 6 species competition for 3 resources, they have a large amplitude of solution. When 5 species competing for 5 resources, they have a chaotic solution, and they are telling that this is the biodiversity. So they are looking the problem that the plankton paradox from the biodiversity point of view. Okay, next slide. Okay, so after that, that paper they was published in Nature. After that, a lot of debate came, and ultimately the problem was still, the problem was not yet solved. This is an open problem. So many people have tried. So a lot of debate after that, when they have looked at the problem from the biodiversity angle, when competition for the resources they are looking for. So a lot of debate came. So I'm not telling all the debates now. Next slide. Okay, so what? Because in ecology, one problem, there is a big problem that we do not have a long time series data. We don't have. That's the main problem for ecological research. We don't have long time series data. So what we are trying to do, as I mentioned, that we are trying to solve this problem from two angles basically, doing some experiment in the lab and doing some experiment in the sea. So we are going to the sea. Next slide. We are going to the sea. So this is my area where we are working for the last 20 years. So what I basically did, so the fishermen, local fishermen, they are going up to 4 kilometers or 6 kilometers maximum for taking the fishes. They are not going, the local fishermen are not going in the deep sea. So I have divided the zone which are very near to the seashore and some zone which are very far from the seashore. So in each area, we have a specific net. We are collecting with the net, the species, and coming back to the laboratory, we are counting how many phytoplankton species are there, how many zooplankton species are there. And we have already identified nearly 41 phytoplankton species which have the ability to release some toxicity. Okay, so what do we have actually? So I have given you the background. What do we have in our hand? I have, now I'm trying to do some mathematics. So I have non-toxic phytoplankton. Remember my experiment, non-toxic phytoplankton. I have toxic phytoplankton and I have zooplankton. So phytoplankton is the prey, zooplankton is the predator, isn't it? So I have 2 types of phytoplankton. One is non-toxic and another is toxic, isn't it? So I have 2 types of prey. Another one is zooplankton, who is predating the phytoplankton, either the non-toxic one or the toxic one. What my experiment tells you, that whenever you take the non-toxic one, that will give you the positive growth, isn't it? If you take the toxic one, it will give you the negative. So that's the simple way, isn't it? So now this is my background. Now I try to write down the mathematical model. How I can write down the mathematical model to represent this sort of data set. That's my point. I am trying to do that. Next slide. This is my data set. So as you see that what I just claimed, so it is a non-toxic one, and yellow is zooplankton, and another one is, this pink one is your toxic. So let's see that when there is a lump of, here is a zooplankton, yellow one is zooplankton. Look at the pink. Zooplankton. Here is the toxic one. So zooplankton is the predator, isn't it? Zooplankton will predate the non-toxic or toxic. So he is finding that guy, toxic prey, he is seeing that lump of zooplankton is around there, that he will attack. At that time, he starts to release some toxic chemical. And as a result, suicidal effect. Both the population, as you see, the toxic one is coming down, as well as zooplankton also coming down. My experiment. Remember my experiment. This is not my, this is the data set from the sea. Last 14 years data set as I mentioned. So I have non-toxic. So this same sort of phenomena is going on in a particular proper frequency which is coming, proper amplitude which is coming. Every 3 months or 4 months I have the data. So every time I see. So this is the data set. So when they are, so story is now clear to me. Now I am trying to write down the model. Next slide. Okay, so I have a predator, zooplankton. This is my predator. This is my non-toxic. P1 represent non-toxic. P2 represent the toxic. Okay, so these can you remember these two equation? Lotka-Volterra competition model, isn't it? As I mentioned before. And so remember P1 square. P1 square, intra-species competition. P1, P2, inter-species competition, isn't it? So I have already mentioned Lotka-Volterra competition. And so this is my data set. This is my history. I know the behavior of that data set. How I know the Lotka-Volterra competition model. How Lotka-Volterra competition model should be modified to represent this particular thing. For my students, I am explaining in this. Okay. So we know. So far we have know the Lotka-Volterra competition model. Okay. Now the zooplankton is the predator. Can you remember the prey-predator model? Think about the prey. Predator will capture the prey. If he takes the good one, it will be positive effect. If he takes the bad one, it will be. The zooplankton is the predator, isn't it? Zooplankton will consume both the prey. I have two preys now. One is non-toxic one, P1, another one is toxic one. Okay. Now zooplankton came into the picture. Zooplankton is consuming P1. As you see, interaction between Z and P1, ZP1. It is in the form of, I have taken in the form of type 2. As I mentioned, that most 60% people are using type 2. I have used the type 2. So when he is consuming the type, when he is consuming the good one, non-toxic one, he has positive effect. Now he is consuming the P2. P2 is my toxic one. He has a negative. So when interaction is W1Z over D1P1 into P1. So this is coming here as a positive effect. When they are Z is interacting with P2 in this type 2 functional response, it has a negative effect. We have a Xi at the rate of Xi2. It is coming here, and C is the data. So as you see that how this particular, I have the background of some of the data set. Okay, I know the phenomena, what is going on. My data set is telling me that if you take the good food, you have positive effect. If you take the data set is telling you. And it's basically, what is that? It's basically a prey-predator model. So how this Lotka-Volterra competition model is clear, how represent, as you see that I just modified the Lotka-Volterra competition model with this simple data set, the theory, and the data to write down this. So how the mathematical model you can write down, and that's why I represent this particular example here. So, okay, now what I'm trying to do now, what is my aim? Because I have a problem. What was my problem? I want to represent I'm trying to give you one explanation for the plankton paradox. Many people are trying, as I say, that from external factors, competition, etc. What I have write down a mathematical model, and I'm trying to now see that this model can give a specific solution for the plankton paradox or not, isn't it? That's the issue. I shall have to show that. So again, I have some background in my mind. What is my background? What I'm trying to do now? So in my opinion, so it's basically my thinking has come from the problem of from a thermodynamic problem. So in physics, if you see that population will not fluctuate. So one thing is clear, population are not in an equilibrium state. It is in non-equilibrium state. It is, so the people who are working with this problem, as I mentioned, the Netherlands group, other people, all people believe that population are not in an equilibrium state. They are far from the thermodynamic equilibrium. Okay. Problem is, who drives the system from this equilibrium state to non-equilibrium state? That's the problem. If we can find out the driver of that, who is taking the population from equilibrium to non-equilibrium, if you can find out that, your problem, you can give an explanation of this particular. So, what I am trying to do, my thing is that I am looking at internal mechanism. If you remember that slide, I am looking at the species itself are giving the explanation for the why the species are coexisting. When the species itself has the property. As you see, the toxic species, it is in the sea. They are releasing the toxic one for their benefit, for their survival. So the species itself generate their own mechanism, isn't it? So, and my focus will be, so in this way, I am trying to see that which parameter is responsible. So this dictates me that please look the parameter J2, that is the rate of production of oxygen, will make the difference. So I focus in my numerical example on that one. So what I did, I vary each of the parameters. I have many parameters, as you see. And most of the parameters I am seeing, the population are fluctuating. As you see, it clearly represents, this is my model, this is my data set, and this is my model simulation. So it is clearly. Now all the population are fluctuating, etc. Now, most of the cases, I am treating the simple limit cycle also. But can you see the faint line here? Some faint line, this one, isn't it? So this faint line is coming only for the parameter J2. J2 means the rate of toxin. So my point is that population cannot fluctuate for a long time. It will have to come for a moment to a steady state, which we call fragile steady state. The population will not fluctuate for a long time. It will have to come for a fractional moment from the steady state. Then it will fluctuate. So that parameter, only the parameter responsible, this one, this faint line, fluctuate, then steady state, then fluctuate. This parameter, only this faint line, I'm getting only, I'm getting all parameters in their prescribed. I'm getting only for the toxin pollution phytoplankton. That is the rate of J2. Only for the parameter J2 represent that the steady state, fragile steady state. So this result somehow gives a explanation to resolve the plankton problems. That's why most of the people are not using the title of my paper, Toxin Pollution Phytoplankton may act as a biocontrol or represent the plankton paradox or plankton inflow. So this is many people are using this particular phrase in their style. Next slide. Another one. So, in this, as I mentioned, that I'll speak about that again. Many times when I am representing my analysis, many times it is dictate me that there is some. So, two types of solution are people looking because one from individual level solution, another is from community level solution. So if you think about the Brownian motion, in the Brownian motion, if you want to, this is Brownian motion represents the individual level solution. So if you want to, you have to look at the solution, you have to track all the directions for Brownian motion. For the community level solution, it is like a smoke. So solution obtained by taking the aggregation of all the directions. That is the solution. So most of the people who are looking at these many problems from different angles, most of the people are looking the problems from the individual level solution. Community level solution is still missing, and it is a if you have an individual level solution, you cannot conclude about the community level solution. But on the other hand, if you have a community level solution, it's a one way. That's something. From community level solution, you can move to an individual level solution. So this sort of problems again, whether there is a link between the individual level solution and community level solution, you want to link this sort of solution. Again, my point is that you will go for the fractional solution. Yes. I have some time. Okay, so as I mentioned, my first thought is complete, and I will take another half an hour, not half an hour, maybe less. To represent the two parts. So, how the Malthus theory, dx/dt is equal to Rx. And remember, this is my Malthus theory, exponential growth. How this Malthus theory is valid for third world country or not. So I will show you some economics data now and try to say that how we can validate this simple equation for our country basically. So Malthus equation dx/dt is equal to Rx. It has three postulates. What is that? Food is essential for man's existence. The passion between the sexes is essential, and it will remain its present state. The law of diminishing returns operates in agriculture. So, food population, food requirement is exponential, and it is on food production is on arithmetic. So this is the Malthusian plan. Next slide. So population growth, it is a geometrical progression, isn't it? Population growth is an 2, 4, 8 shift. It's a geometrical progression. On the other hand, food production is an arithmetic progression. So there is a disequilibrium. One is geometric, another one is arithmetic. So there is a disequilibrium between the food supply and the population. How we can solve this problem? This disequilibrium. Either we have a positive check. Positive check means natural checks, that is the earthquake, epidemic, war, etc. What will that do? It will increase your death rate. Or you have a negative check, that is the late marriage, self-resistant, etc. And it will reduce the birth. So either, always clear. One, population is in geometric progression. Food production is arithmetic progression. So we have a disequilibrium. How we can check that? We have a positive check or negative check. Maybe earthquake, many people can die. That is the positive. Negative check means late marriage, that is reduce the birth rate. So this way, these are the two ways we can do that. So my problem is that dxdt is equal to rs, that is the Malthus equation, is still valid or not? I am looking at. My criteria is that today's issues, such as continuing population growth, we are in second position. China is in the first position, and probably within coming 9 or 10 years, we will take the first position. So continuing population growth, rising per capita growth consumption, depletion of natural resources, overall the climate change. These are the 4 factors I will take into account, and I will try to prove that yes, Malthus' theory is still valid for our country. Let's see. Okay, this is the population structure we have. So India is, as I mentioned, India is in second position, and we are going to the first position very soon. So population is going for Malthus equation. We have to do products. Population will grow some sort of exponential. Okay, population is geometric progression. Mind it. Population is geometric progression. Food production is arithmetic progression. We have to prove that. Still, in our country, we have that criteria what Malthus proposed. Many people do not believe. Let's see. So, continue. This figure clearly tells you population growth is increasing for our country, isn't it? Next slide. Okay. What Malthus told us, very good remark, Malthus wrote, the poor are themselves the cause of their poverty. Poor, very interesting one. Very interesting. The poor are themselves the cause of their poverty. Let's see what Rangarajan wrote. Look at the Rangarajan committee. Number of rural people is 260 million. Number of urban is 102 million. Total is 360 million. Percentage of poor is 29%. The poorer are themselves the cause of their poverty. So we have more than 30% people are poor. Okay, next slide. Look at the food production. So we are using many fertilizers. So as for example, in 1985 to 1987, look at the fertilizer consumption. 86, 87, something like that, isn't it? Look at fertilizer consumption in 2009, 2014. So it has increased nearly 3 to 4 times fertilizer consumption. 86, so nearly 3 or 4 times we are using more fertilizer in our land. How many yields we are getting? So we are getting, previously we are getting food production, suppose 143. After increasing 4 times fertilizer, we are not getting so much. So we are using more fertilizer to get more yield, what we are not getting. And that is, more, if you use more fertilizer, your natural depletion will come, and that has come. Next slide. So, soil depletion already serious issue. 21 Indian cities will run out of groundwater in this year, by 2020. So, as you see, that using of so many fertilizer, land pattern is changing, everything is changing, and so that's why the will be out of water, groundwater in 2020. 21 Indian cities will be. This is the media. Next slide. So, major things to validate is, what is we have a limitation of biotechnology. We have environment, as you see, and climate change. We have projected water scarcity, as I mentioned, 21 Indian cities will be run out of water. Changing disease pattern. Disease pattern is also changed. Let's see. Next slide. So we try. You can the question may come that we tried because we tried to increase our food production. Doing GM crop, genetically modified crop, using GM crop. But in fact, GM crop do not have give you the benefit. So, do we need? I do not know. My question is there. Do we need another green revolution? You have to think that. Next slide. This is the how. So, country as a whole, the rainfall is from the average rainfall. Country as a whole is decreasing -20%. Northeast, as you see, the rainfall is declined a lot in the northeast. We are at 21%, it has been declined. And central India 10%, south peninsula 7%, and east and northeast India is 12%. So the rainfall is also going down day by day. And as I mentioned that India's total water demand will increase 32%. So over-exploitation of groundwater and reduction in catchment capacity due to uncontrolled urbanization are all cause the depletion to the water balance. Or water balance is not reducing. So next slide. So this is a disease pattern. Now the disease pattern is changing. See that this is the communicable. This red represents communicable, and green one is the non-communicable. This is the injury. So communicable disease, red one. Previously it was 53. Now it is 27. Non-communicable disease. That is wonderful. Non-communicable previously it was 37. It was now 61%. So how the disease pattern is changing, right? Next slide. So, as I mentioned that I do not know, we shall have to think. COVID-19 pandemic is a wake-up call or not. I just read out this. COVID-19 is not the positive check. I am not saying. I have two checks, isn't it? One is positive check and the one is negative. I am not saying it's a positive check. Positive earthquake, etc., war, etc. I am not saying that COVID-19 is a positive, but I have done. COVID-19 is not a positive check that we have to have, but it's a one. A reminder that positive checks will run through global society in the future. And once they start, they can be quick. If human society fail to maintain and evolve the necessary preventive checks. Maybe wrong, but I have COVID-19 is a wake-up call or not. I have. I was serious now. Okay, so our challenge, what is our challenge? So we shall have to produce, so by economic seminar. So in 2030, India population will be 1.5 billion. So we shall have to produce more and more resources. Current production of cereals 230 million for 1.1 billion people. In 2030, it will be 1.5 population. Expected population 2050 will be 1.8 billion. My question is how we will feed them all. This is the cereal we are producing now. So we have to think about that. So that's why with this data set, as you see, that or two things, population is going geometrically, food production is not going, food production is going arithmetically. So all these data set, I think, believe that in our country, the data set we can show you for our country only. And we also believe, I believe, that Malthus theory is still valid for our country. My last part is the Just a minute. Last part is the socialism, about the socialism. This man is well known to everyone. Isn't it? So this was his last visit to Ireland, Ceylon, isn't it? Where he died when he was giving his lecture. He was died there, isn't it? So his Sejan Pal was with him. Most of the time, Sejan Pal was with him, and there is a conversation between Sejan Pal and APJ during their journey. So the topic of the lecture at IIM Ceylon was creating a livable planet. He was going to speak on that, APJ. He related the incident to the topic and said, it seems that man-made forces as being a threat to the liability of Earth as population. We discussed, discussed how if this trend of violence, pollution, and reckless human action continues, we will be forced to leave Earth. Then he said, 30 years at this rate, maybe. You guys must do something about it. It is going to be your future. So that is the word of the episode. So this is the background of that model. Okay, let's go to the model. So what I did actually, I did the human population. So human population, I divided into three groups. One is common people, one is terrorist, another one is security person. Okay? So I divided the human population into three groups. So when we born, we are all common people. But also due to many things, due to our societal structure, due to our wealth condition, many things, people, the group of peoples from these common people, because at the time of birth we were all common. Some peoples are joining with terrorist group, some are joining with security. So I divided the whole population into two. Yeah. So now I am seeing the interaction. So when there is an interaction, think about the trade model now again. So when there is an interaction between the common people and terrorists, so we have a negative effect. Because if the terrorists want to kill you,
it's actually